Welcome to Happy for PR Podcasts. Today I will be interviewing artist Gillian Lee Smith on her new exhibition, We All Cast Shadows. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about your background and where you started?
I ended up going to Edinburgh Art College as a mature student after a few years of doing different things, from being a lifeguard and swimming teacher to I studied nursing and worked with people with learning disabilities, and eventually when I was around 30, went to art college. It was something that I'd always wanted to do. I'd always been artistic as a child and wanted to be an artist as a grown-up, but then, you kind of leave school and you feel a bit discouraged, can you really be an artist? Is that possible? So it wasn't until I was 30 that I ended up going. And even when I went to art college, I was still a bit doubtful about whether you could do painting as a living. And I ended up doing performance costumes, which was basically designing and making costumes for film and theatre and any type of performance. And the reason that I decided to do that was because I was really interested in the storytelling aspect, the narrative, working with characters and the imagination, really. And I like the kind of very practical thing about it, that you were making sort of hands-on. Still in my mind, I really wanted to do painting, and that's kind of really what I wanted to do. But I chose costume because I thought I'd be able to get a job at the end of it. But it didn't really work out like that, because it's actually very, very difficult to work in costume when you graduate. So I graduated, I just started painting for myself, really, and sort of creating all the things that were in my mind out onto canvas through paint. And gradually I started selling my paintings, and I realised that that was very much more what I wanted to do rather than working for somebody else and designing and making costumes. I really, really wanted to work for myself, to be in my studio and bringing together all the things that were in my mind. People liked them, then that was great, but I think the main emphasis was on doing the artwork for me. So that's kind of takes me up to now, really.
You also did your sculpture work as well, didn't you?
The sculpture and the paintings always worked alongside each other. I was always doing both. But I just found it really hard. When I was sculpting, I felt like I should have been painting. When I was painting, I felt like I should have been sculpting. And I found it very, very hard to kind of marry the two together, because sculptures were, I guess, my kind of, harking back to my childhood, the very sort of bent that I have in my imagination, whereas the paintings were very much how I feel as a grown-up. And so I kind of felt like I was in two headspaces then. I was kind of splitting myself in two a little bit. And as I say, I could never kind of work on them both at the same time. For me, in the end, I think I had to make a decision about where I really wanted to go.
How do you decide on a theme or a subject matter with your paintings? Tell us a bit about the exhibition We All Cast Shadows. That's happening in the Hart Gallery on October the 2nd.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. It kind of feels like we're working on a theme that kind of sort of spreads out, but it definitely has a core theme to it. I'm really interested in history and storytelling and imagining what people's lives were like at a particular time, and sort of thinking of periods of history that resonate to me, even though I don't have anything directly in common with them. In terms of how I live my life, or the opportunities that are available to me, or just living in a sort of modern world. I think I look to periods of history that connect me emotionally, that I kind of feel. And I read a book a long time ago now, or it feels like a long time ago, called In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick. And I feel a little bit angsty about this, because I always felt like it was my little secret. Whenever I told people about this book, nobody had heard of it. And now it's actually been made into a big, huge Hollywood film directed by Ron Howard. So everybody's going to get to know about it, which is amazing. But, I always felt like it was like my little thing. And it's basically about the whaling communities in America, and in particular on Nantucket Island. And I've read this book a dozen times, probably more. I probably read it sort of once or twice a year. And it very much goes into the history of the whaling communities, particularly the men going off to sea. They go off to sea for 3 years at a time. During that time, the Victorian times, or 18th, 19th century. So the vast majority of the book is about that. But that really kind of captured my imagination was about the families and the wives of the whalers and the fishermen and the community around them. So my exhibition is very much just about the stories that's kind of inspired in me, the things that I imagine about that life, the emotions that I feel I can connect to about that life, and that's what the exhibition is about.
So tell us about the dates that you have coming up at the Art Gallery, and then on from there there's the private preview, which is October the 2nd. Tell us a bit about that.
That will just be a chance for people to come and have the first view of the exhibition. All the work will be there. I will be there, available to chat to people.
And you'll be selling original paintings and prints?
Original paintings, some reproduction prints and some greetings cards.
And then on from there, you'll be also on October the 30th, you'll be at the Art Gallery painting, won't you?
I am, I just kind of thought it's not very often that people get a real peek into the work that goes behind an artist's day. There was a great series on BBC3 before what do artists do all day, and it's not very often that people get to really see that. So I'm going to be there with my easel working on some new paintings, so it'll just be a chance for people to come and say hello and again chat to me about my work, or just look at what I'm doing. So I'll be there all day on the Thursday the 30th of October.
And the great thing about this body of work is it's ongoing, isn't it? It's evolving as it goes along, so you are looking for other galleries to host this exhibition.
Yeah, definitely. And I always thought that this would just be one exhibition, but the more that I've worked on it, the more that I realise that it has a bigger story and it has further to go. And I definitely don't feel like I've done these paintings and that's it, now I move on to something else. I definitely feel that there's a lot of scope for more work. So I would love to take this exhibition further and take this exhibition to other galleries, other spaces, and other communities, I guess.
And also, the amazing thing that's also come from this is that you're going to be doing your first book.
I am. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be available from around the middle to end of November, and it's just the book is going to be sort of sketches, some words and writing, and the paintings, which will all be from the exhibition. So again, it's just a chance for people to see something or collect some things, part of that exhibition, part of that body of work. And again, there'll be a little bit of writing about my inspiration, and it will almost be like the exhibition in book form, which I'm about. So, yeah.
And just before we close off, just tell us a little bit about your e-courses that you've been doing.
Yeah, that's a exciting thing that I've been doing this year. I have done teaching in person, and it's I'm still doing. I'm teaching in Scotland just in a few weeks' time. And I'm teaching out in America next year in North Carolina next autumn. But one thing that people have been asking me quite lots was to actually do an online course, which has become a really popular way of learning for people who perhaps don't have a chance or time to go to evening classes or weekend classes. So I wrote quite a comprehensive art course earlier this year called Unearth, Gather, Create. And it's all about sort of finding, there's lots of tutorials and lots of techniques, but the theme of the course is to actually discover within yourself what you want to paint. It's not just about how to paint, but it's actually unearthing your own inspirations and creating a body of work for yourself. And I'm now just about to start my third run of that course, which has just gone amazingly well. This is the third time that I've ran it, and each time it's sold out, so people are really spreading the word about it, and it's been very popular. So, and it's just great to be able to share some of the things that I've learned over the last few years with people who are willing to learn it. So it's been a really good experience. So that's been a really good experience for me.
So when's the next open date for the next e-course?
Well, the next one is sold out.
Yeah.
Again, that starts at the end of September. And at the moment, I'm not sure when or if I'm going to run that one again. I already have ideas for a new course. So there's a possibility I might make Unearth Gather Create a self-study one. I just have a few ideas about that, but I probably won't run it again until next year now. So maybe next spring.
So can you tell us where we can find all your details?
My website is gillianleesmithartist.com, and I am on Facebook and Twitter, again as Gillian Lee Smith. If you come to the exhibition, I'm very excited about it. It's my first solo exhibition, so I'm really looking forward to seeing people's responses to my work, and very excited about that.
Oh, thank you very much, Gillian.
Okay, thank you.
If you would like to know more about Gillian Lee Smith, go to www.gillianleesmithartist.com. Thank you for listening.